Hey,
How are you?
I'm pretty good today. Today is a really productive day so far.
Cool. So, can we just start off with what do you do?
Cool. So I'm an art curator. I live in Los Angeles, California. I've been in this industry for about 5 years professionally and studying for almost 10, I suppose, 10, 15.
Great. So, what is one nugget of wisdom that you can pass on?
Definitely, I would always say participate in the conversation. I know we're in a different, like, sort of like world right now with COVID and different things like that. But if you can join a talk or a panel or engage in any type of like lectures, even if that's like listening to old ones, do so. It's not only the best place to network and meet new people, but it's a great way to kind of see where the current thoughts are so that when you add or subtract what you think personally into the conversation, it is actually like relevant. And that's probably my biggest nugget.
I think that's such a good point because, like, so when you say that, is it, I get a lot of these Zoom invites, or I get a
Yeah.
lot of, I sometimes am just like, I think it's like cookies, I swear to God, like nerdiness of like looking for stuff to go and listen to so I can go and broaden my, like, my understanding of the art industry. So when you
Yeah.
say like it's a good place to network and going to these lectures, do you mean by like stuff that you see via Instagram and then you just sign up, or like what is there a specific thing that you do?
Yeah. And maybe definitely I would say consider that in relationship to your self care. Like don't take on more than you can have the ability to. That's important to think about because I know
So
with
agreed,
internet
yeah.
right now it's so loud and congested. But I think networking in just a sense like how it helped me in my career was showing up to in-person talks and then people would see you in those rooms and they would see that you were actually interested and a lot of times those could be the same people that you're trying to make the next job with or the next opportunity with, so it doesn't hurt for them to know that you're interested. And always just like in college, like ask questions after if you can, if your confidence level is high enough to just insert even a feedback, like what I thought I heard today was this and it made me feel that way.
Hmm.
It can go a long way, especially as you're kind of creating and building up your name and your familiarity to whatever conversation you're trying to be in.
That's cool. I've never done that. That's almost like what you do in social media, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah,
follow, comment. I think that's what people say. It's like that's how you grow your account. And I've never. This is how I know I'm like so embedded, like super deep in the industry because it's like I would never comment on anything because I'm like,
I
why
know.
would I do that? It's just
No, for
like.
sure. It definitely, as always, like at your comfort level. I'm not saying like to be obnoxious because I've seen people sort of like it's like especially at those question and answer moments where it's like, oh god, here goes that same person with that strong point of view. But I think in general, like be receptive to new information and community. Really,
That's amazing. Community is such a big one that I talk about quite a lot, that we really
yeah,
need each other. And people,
for sure.
I think when you're in art school, you never think you almost take it for granted because you're just there day in day out and you see the people over and over again. You think, why would I ever need to go and upkeep this relationship? Especially
Right,
the ones that you don't get on with, right? In your head, you're
right.
thinking, oh, thank fuck, I don't have to see you anymore. And then,
No, for
and
sure.
like, you leave, and then you're like, actually, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Maybe it's actually better that I see the people I dislike because at least I can hear the other points of view. Whereas now it's
Exactly.
just like me in my four white walls, and it's like, shit, what am I supposed to do now?
It's harder to network in this current conversation right now. I know we're all looking for like how do we stay active and things like that, but I would say it's still like some of those questions. Like for me, I think I've sat in a few Zooms that I've responded back to the person and let them know that I watched it and some of their thoughts help me move these things along, and it helps us create more of a personal relationship that probably wouldn't have existed before. And truly, I've had some horror stories too. It's not all like peaches and cream. I've definitely like gone up to people and been like, "Hey, I'm AJ," and they're like, "But you just gotta like try it, because then know who you are, know what you're trying to get out of it." And then the second interaction definitely wasn't as bad because they remembered me from the first awkward one. So
Well, yeah,
you
it's
gotta
not
do
personal. I think,
for
if
sure.
it, like, I know that because sometimes when people say, like, hi, and I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God.
What do you want?
Especially when you're an introvert and you're like, why is someone saying hi to me? I'm so confused. Like, please don't look at me. Back away, back away.
And so that advice for sure is to someone who is an introverted person who, never in a billion years would do it, but it can go a long way.
No, for sure, for sure. So that's such a good piece of nugget. If that's like even a weird saying that I've just made up. But yes, that's such a good piece of information to pass on. So thank you so much for your time.
Of course, always. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks.